think, online or face-to-face teaching, which one is the preferred method? You know, based on personal thoughts. Go with you, Natasha?
Well, we had a bit of that discussion the other day. I don't know whether it was after the recording. I think it stopped about my experiences of online learning, and I don't think I would be a learning designer had I not had access to the Deakin course online, because my life is very busy. I had to study outside hours. I couldn't drive down to a regional area to have face-to-face classes. So it opened up a whole new world to me, and I'm so grateful to that. So I think online learning is fantastic. But I also think that face-to-face is really as well a really important part of learning.
You know, and when I'm listening to that response, I'm listening to a student response.
Yeah.
So, and it's giving that flexibility, isn't it? What about you, Antoinette? What do you think?
It depends, to be honest. I mean, Tash just touched upon personal reasons why you'd probably want to undertake an online course. Certainly, I've undertaken an online course as well. I think it's important for yourself to actually experience being an online learner, and you get what the type of challenges students actually face when they are also studying online. So certainly when I undertook my second postgraduate study, I was studying with Lancaster University. That was all online via discussion forums, and I found that so powerful. It was only until I was in online that I actually got what it was, because it's one thing to study it and I suppose advocate for it, but when you actually go through it yourself, you have a different lens. So I can completely understand why she's speaking from it as a student. We always have to have that mindset in any case. So certainly it depends on what the circumstance you are in. I think it's important that we have the flexibility, but at the same time, there are affordances of face-to-face that you will not get in an online environment. So the same course that I was doing via Lancaster, we still had 2 face-to-face components where we'd actually meet in person just to build that rapport. It's very hard. It's not impossible to do that online, but there's just something that you get by actually having somebody physically in front of you. You can read body cues, you can smile, and you lose those cues online. So certainly there's an importance to have that element of face-to-face, but not to say that you cannot actually meet learning outcomes in an online environment. You can. It just depends on how you set it up. You know, you just need to be very cognizant about the way you're structuring different learning experiences for students for an online forum versus a face-to-face. So you just need to look at the affordances. And for me, face-to-face is really about building those relationships, those communities, and just kind of, you establish that online, but it takes to a notch higher when you do it face-to-face. So really depending on the circumstances, I think we should actually look at both and see what we can glean from both to make it a great experience for our students.
David?
I think with the face-to-face, we find that there's more of an immediacy. So like now, we can have this conversation, we can intersperse, we can, you know, have a wonderful chat that feeds off each other. Online, that can sometimes be a little bit more challenging, mainly because the person is not immediately in front of you. You can't see them, you can't touch them, you can't see how they're reacting. Do they feel comfortable discussing these things? You know, if their camera's off, it's even harder. So there's that aspect of online engagement. The other thing that I found interesting, because during the pandemic as well, I did some online studies to do some professional development for myself. So I did some video editing courses that was run online. What was interesting was there was no one there that I could ask a question to, because the videos were recorded. So you just go through one after the other after the other. And if you wanted to say, hang on a minute, that button that you've pushed, how come it doesn't look quite the same on my version of the software? And so there was no one there to talk to. Now, it was a big company, so it's an Adobe product. And I was learning, you know, the Adobe Premiere, which is their flagship editing package. And I'm a video editor, but I use a competing package. And I thought, well, I should learn this skill.
Of course.
And I did. And then I thought to myself, now that I've finished the course, I've forgotten everything I've learned, which is embarrassing because I'm a video editor, and I think the problem is, of course, that my mindset was already with my other product, which I always use, and I'm certified to use the other product. I wanted to become certified to use this product, but because every time I go to do something, there was no one there I could ask a question to, I'd just say, "Damn it, I'm going to go and do it on my other product." So online certainly has, as both Antoinette and Tash pointed out, there are incredible affordances you can get online. That flexibility of being able to do it whenever you want. So, after dinner, I might sit down and do half an hour of the course, then I go and sit with my partner and we'd watch TV. That flexibility you don't get. But the other thing is with face-to-face, you've got, it's almost like a schedule. You've got a regimented time that you've got to do things by. You've got assignment dates, you've got due dates, you've got to come into classes, you've got to sit there. It's giving you a structure. So you've got the two opposites really. One that can be quite unstructured and is very flexible. The other that's a bit more rigid but is guiding you through your learning. So there's they both have these amazing affordances that contrast and can complement at the same time.
I think we've got to remember as well that Swinburne also has vocational education and some very practical courses in higher ed and in vocational education as well that require collaboration, require people around a hospital bed or to be able to learn, or
hands-on.
Planting trees, hands-on. I mean, the very first call that I got, I'll never forget, in a drop-in after we went to online, was an engineering teacher who was just not quite sure how he was going to display his experiments, to students. And that could be videoed, but I think some of the really tangible subjects, they were really quite.
And of course, something like that for an engineer who's used to hands-on, people around the desk or the table would be requiring these technological skills. Wonderful. And of course, then I have to say that I have had the opportunity to participate in courses here at Swinburne online. And the thing that I like is the fact what you said is important, to talk. Although I didn't say a word because I was so busy listening. But then when I remember both courses, if you have a question, and I thought, right, my turn. And exactly what you're saying. So we want to have that interaction. It's also confirming have we understood or not understood something.